Hi stylist! For today, I am pulling the banner for Forest Ripple and I guess the 4-star Verdant Verse. Personally for me, I did not expect to go for either of these suits. I was contemplating if I wanted to, and here I am pulling for them. So I will first talk about the 5-star suit, then the 4-star suit, and then I'll just continue yapping. Okay, so the 5-star suit, I think is really pretty, but there could have been, I like it, but certain things it feels too complicated or it feels too complex when it doesn't need to. So specifically when it comes to the dress, I like the dress, especially the shapes, and it really does remind me of a flower, like a blooming flower, also a firefly. I think it's very on theme with Itzaland type of aesthetic with flowers. So you see the one that's like on the wood and then it's like hanging. It really reminds me of that one, so I like that. I like it. But specifically when it comes to the bodice area, that it's kind of too much going on when it doesn't really need to be, especially the wiring and I don't know how else to say it rather than it's beautiful, but when you look at it close up or maybe far away, depending on the individual or the person, for me it looks like it doesn't really need to be there. You know when they say less is more, I think that is very apparent here. I think they didn't really need to do so much to that area because so much is already going on. So you know, like the curving areas, going low onto the dress, I think that's really pretty, but it kind of annoys me because for the first base of the suit, it's green, maybe lime, like very light green, and white and a bit of blue or a bit of baby blue, so it works really well. But at the same time, I think it looks better in the photos rather than actually in open world and maybe in game, just in general, because the curves look too light that it kind of stands out. Rather than working with the overall dress, I think it stands out a bit too much. That's why my favorite out of them for the evolutions is the second one, because I think when you look at the green color palette and you look at the curves and all the shapes, it looks very whimsical, but it also looks like it's supposed to be there. With the purple/pink one, okay, I'm really trying to say okay, but for the first one, and you know, not everyone might be able to go for the evolution, so it doesn't matter what the original base color is. But for me, it kind of just looks too off when looking at the overall suit. That's how I feel about specifically the dress. I think less is more, and the bodice and the curves, I like the firefly type of effect, especially like the glow. And underneath the dress, underneath the dress, I think that's really cool and I like it. It kind of makes it funny to just think about Nikki's glowing from the butt. What's going on? But it makes sense in terms of the dress and in terms of the inspiration that's gone into it. The shoes, amazing. I love them. I kind of wish that we had more type of shoes like this. It's okay in terms of the simplicity, because I actually prefer that nothing is on her feet, because how many times have I been wanting for just Nikki's, it sounds weird, but Nikki's feet to just be shown, because when you want to, like, you know, go into, let's say, the waters and you want to take some photos as if she's not wearing sandals or any shoes, it just feels very versatile because of that. You just have to angle it because you don't want to get the back design of the shoes because something is there. But other than that, I think it's really nice. I appreciate what it is, and I appreciate the fact that less is more. I feel like they took that on board for that one. So moving on, the other pieces, I like the wings. It's very fairy / Tinkerbell periwinkles type of aesthetic, especially with the wings. I really like them. It really reminds me of her. So that's a yes for me. But at the same time, I wish that they would flutter at least a bit compared to the what is it, having to use the ability for it. I think I would have preferred if there was at least a bit of movement. It's at least better than Enchanted Encounter, so Fairy Godmother, because she's it's not great. Especially I was expecting how the what is it called, the wings would flutter. So I remember going for that ability, no wait, going for the wings, and I was expecting the wings to be able to flutter when I'm like doing my gliding ability effect. And no, they do not flutter, they do not move, and I did not understand why. I understand a bit, maybe if you want it to not be the same as all the others, but it's wings, I would expect movement. So for me, I'm happy that there is a bit of movement when it comes to the ability for Forest Ripple's wings, but I would love some animation when it comes to actually just Nikki being in the open world, rather than what is it called? Rather than just having to rely on the ability for the movement. Thank you. My major complaint about the suit or Forest Ripple is that pendant or that leg piece, because tell me why, it reminds me of a choker, but it's for the legs. So I don't think it's an anklet because that would be lower on Nikki's legs, but for the sake of it, anklet is where it's the feet. So let's say an anklet but higher up. It's not great, because tell me why it's so little. And even in the banner photo, someone actually pointed out that you can't even see it, and I'm just questioning, what was the point? Maybe you can like style it and you can do something with it. It's very versatile, I guess, but I'm not. And knowing that we only had there was only one suit that had 9 pieces, and that was like from the limited banner, and for the permanent banner we still currently have one. I feel like, I don't know, it kind of icks me the wrong way of how you're telling me that we needed another piece just for that when we're not even seeing that. It reminds me of when it comes to shoes or tights, when it's long dresses and you can't see the tights. If the tights are worth it, okay, but when the shoes or the tights aren't actually noticeable, especially in the original suit, I don't feel like it's necessary. You can fight me on it, I do understand, but at the same time, I do feel like it's a bit too greedy, in my opinion. You're just trying to separate all the pieces for the sake of it, and I don't like it. So that's me. In overall, I like this suit. Do I like the ability? I feel like the ability is very useful. I personally don't pick up too much open world materials, but now start to because it is actually very good. I like the effect of how there's flowers, and whenever you move, there will be flowers blooming around you. I think that's very cool. It really reminds me of Precure. I can't remember which one. I think it's I don't think it's the princess one. Climate change and the environment. So when I saw Nikki doing that, I knew instantly it reminds me of that. So I like it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about the suit and the ability. I think it's a great ability. Sad. Okay, wait, I do have another major issue about the suit. Tell me why the final evolution has the sit and pose. That's kind of the reason why I'm going to go for the final evolution when it comes back. But that doesn't tell me, like, how are you telling me that was only able to get the sit and pose when it comes to the final evolution? That's so expensive for a sit and pose, which we've been asking for, and a lot of players have said we've been asking for that and we're only getting it now, but it's not behind paywall or final evo. And it makes sense for the suit. I don't really know too well if it makes sense, but I guess because she's sitting down and she's like a fairy, it makes sense. But at the same time, you haven't given us like a F2P version of it other than like the first one we got with when we got like the camera and we got like the sit-in pose. You know what, I just realized I have so much to talk about with this 5-star suit. I thought I really liked it, but there's more cons than pros to it, but that doesn't mean I don't like it, so let me just make sure that's clear. Anyways, back to it. I can say we haven't had like a major sit-in pose compared to when it was like 1 point something, and that was the earlier stages. So where are like more options? And then this one, which we've all been like enjoying, I think there was like the bug report, and then they fixed that glitch with the homing feature. That ornament, I really like it. And now I see I've still been using it, so thankfully it should be here to stay. But at the same time, it does make me feel like, give us more F2P so we feel like we don't actually have to rely on the final Evo. Because coming from 2.0 to 2.1, it feels like you're paywalling a lot of suggestions that the community has made, and we still haven't gotten like more news of more options, if you know what I mean. I don't know how else to say it, so I hope you know what I mean. So that is how I feel about it. That was my major gripe. One, the design is okay. I like it. I do really like it. It really reminds me of Barbie Mariposa, and I like that. The 4-star suit, I don't like it. I only like one, the ability, because you get the tambourine. So I know I'm able to do like Esmeralda's cosplay when thinking about like what's it's called, Notre Dame, and I like that, so woo. But at the same time, I'm not really a fan of all the pieces, and I'm happy for everyone who is. I'm happy for you if it's your aesthetic and what you like, but for me it's not really, so But anyways, I do like the, what is it called, the cape, because it really does remind me of Venti, so that's another thing that I like. Yeah. Thank you for listening to my rant about the suits. The reason why I went for it is because I really do love these pieces, and I've now made a new resolution that I am ideally just going to be going for fairy suits, because looking at 1.0, I'm hoping not to jinx it, okay? I'm really hoping, but looking at 1.0, we didn't get a lot of like fairies. We got a lot of different styles, but we didn't get a lot of fairies. So my resolution is that I'm only going to go for fairies or mythical, but ideally fairies. If it's got wings, that is where I'm going for. And I will probably or hopefully try to go for Final Evo when it gets a rerun. A friend actually said that they only go for Final Evos when it's a rerun, so they can be excited about the future of it, be excited when it comes back, and look forward to it. So I want to do that because it's like very smart about that, trying to not rush too into this, because at the end of the day, as we all know, there will be another suit and another suit and another suit. So they will make reruns, hopefully more. Right now, I can say I don't like the idea of the mystery rerun, because I'm personally hoping it's the airplane one, because I don't want that, so I can continue saving. But it's kind of icky how we don't know, so we can't say for sure. It's just another level of fear for me. But this is how I've styled the outfit, and I love it. She's so cute. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you went for the suit, if you didn't, and how are you enjoying this season? I am enjoying it, trying to take my time with it, but still enjoying it. So thank you for watching, and I'll hopefully see you next time. Bye!